Welcome to Wisdom Time. Today, we're going to tackle a really big spiritual question, and we're going to break it down with two powerful ideas, Wahidiyyah and Ahadiyyah. Okay, let's dive right in. So, have you ever really thought about this? I mean, it's a huge paradox, right? On one hand, you've got this vast, almost impersonal cosmos, and on the other, you might feel this deeply personal one-on-one connection. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, the answer, it turns out, is in understanding two different ways of looking at unity.
And these are the two key terms we're going to unpack, Wahidiyyah and Ahadiyyah. Now, they both come from a word that means one, but they describe two totally different kinds of oneness. One is all about how everything is treated the same, and the other, well, that's about how every single thing is treated as completely unique.
First up, let's zoom all the way out. We're talking the 30,000-foot view, the grand, sweeping picture of reality. This is the perspective we call Wahidiyyah. So what is Wahidiyyah? You can think of it as unity expressed as sameness. It's like a set of rules that apply to every single thing, all at once, no exceptions. It's kind of like the operating system of the universe. It's the divine manifestation that essentially says, from my perspective, you are all one. Just think about it in simple terms. The sun doesn't look down and pick and choose who it's going to shine on, right? And gravity doesn't just decide to work for some people and not for others. These are universal principles, and they act on all of creation together. That right there, that's Wahidiyyah in action. So to kind of wrap our heads around it, when we think of Wahidiyyah, we're thinking about those huge, impersonal systems. We're talking about God as the Lord of the worlds, the architect of these universal laws that govern everything from planets to people, all at the exact same time. But, there can be a tough side to this view. If you only focus on this massive, impersonal system, it's pretty easy to start feeling small, insignificant even. It can lead to this sense of helplessness, like you're just a tiny cog in some giant cosmic machine that doesn't really care. And that right there is the perfect question. I mean, if we're all just subject to the same universal laws, what about our individual lives? What about our personal hopes and fears and prayers? Where do you find your place in all of this?
All right, so now let's bring the camera in. It's time to zoom all the way in, from that cosmic view to something intensely personal. This is the other side of the coin, the perspective of Ahadiyyah.
Ahadiyyah is the complete opposite perspective. It's the manifestation of unity, not through sameness, but through absolute uniqueness. You can think of it as a special, direct line between the divine and every single created being, treating each one as a distinct individual. This quote from the source material just captures the feeling of Ahadiyyah perfectly. Notice the language. It's not the Lord of the worlds, it's my Lord. It's the one who's intimately involved in your personal life, the one who heals you when you're sick, who hears your voice specifically when you call out. So the whole game changes here. Ahadiyyah is all about that personal one-on-one connection. This is where we find hope and grace, that feeling of being seen and heard in a universe that can feel so vast. It's where the universal Lord of the worlds becomes simply my Lord. Okay, so we've got these two big ideas, the grand universal system and the intimate personal connection. So how do they work together? Well, the key thing to get is that they aren't in conflict. They are two truths operating at the exact same time. Let's make this more concrete. Imagine a really tough situation, like a group of people suffering under some kind of oppression. That general condition affecting everyone in that group, that can be seen as a manifestation of Wahidiyyah. But within that same situation, what if the personal prayer of one single individual is answered and they find a way to safety? That personal exception, that's Ahadiyyah at work. History, it often gives us the clearest examples of these really complex ideas. And the source we're looking at points to one specific event that shows this dual reality in a really stark, unforgettable way. You can see this duality so clearly in the historic tragedy at Karbala. From the Wahidiyyah perspective, the universal rules of conflict, of battle, they played out, leading to this heartbreaking martyrdom of many. But at the very same time, from the Ahadiyyah perspective, there was this personal, exceptional act of grace, the miraculous survival of just one individual, Ali Zayn al-Abidin, completely against all odds. So this is the really crucial point to take away. The existence of these big universal laws
doesn't cancel out the possibility of individual personal grace. Both are constantly at play. The general rule and the personal exception can and do exist in the very same moment.
And when you really start to get this, it can completely change how you see your own life. It lets you hold both the incredible vastness of the universe and your own personal significance in your mind at the same time, without any contradiction. It's a pretty powerful shift. And hey, if you're enjoying breaking down these big ideas with us, and you find value in these explorations, we'd love for you to be a bigger part of our community. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and turn on the notification bell. It honestly helps us so much and allows us to keep making more content like this for you. All right, let's bring this all home. We've gone through the theory, but what does it actually mean for you, like right now, today? Why does understanding Wahidiyyah and Ahadiyyah really matter in your day-to-day life?
Well, here's a practical way you can actually apply this. First, you just acknowledge the big picture, the universal realities, the things we all face. That's Wahidiyyah. Then you actively look for the moments of personal grace, those unique exceptions in your own life. That's Ahadiyyah. And finally, you just embrace the idea that both are true. They aren't competing, they coexist. And that perspective can be an incredible source of hope.
And this is really the ultimate takeaway. No matter how huge and impersonal the world might feel sometimes, this framework is a reminder that your individual existence, your personal connection, it has its own unique and profound significance. It matters. So it all just boils down to this. It's not two different realities we're talking about. It's two different perspectives on one single unified reality, one seen from way far away and one seen from right up close. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. As you go about your life navigating all the universal laws and the big systems that we're all a part of, just be on the lookout. Where is that personal touch of grace? Where will you find your unique personal exception that's meant just for you?